What's good? What's good? Quindell Johnson, Memphis safety, and you watching the Fanview podcast.
Couple days from going into 2023.
Yeah.
Here with my dude, man, Quindell Johnson, man, Memphis safety. Just played your last game, man, the first responders bowl.
Yeah.
Got to win. Got to win, man. Going out as a senior, man, as a winner. Hell of a college career. I'm here with my host, man, Hurricane Hen.
Back at it again, baby.
There it is. There it is. Quentin, man, hell of a journey, man. Hell of a journey. Followed you since you was a freshman in the car, two-sport athlete. Didn't know if you was gonna be a basketball player or a football player. You know, I could really go back farther than that when your dad was coaching y'all with the AAU team. When I used to see y'all at the Alario and over there at Xavier and stuff like that. But man, talk about your journey, man. Just through high school, going to Memphis, being an all-conference player, and reaching some of your goals, man, that your parents laid out for you.
Man, it was a hell of a journey, first of all. I can go all day about this journey. I can start high school. I went in as a quarterback. I was behind Alden and Skylar going in to my freshman year. I thought I was going to play quarterback. Then I had to, just compete with them my freshman year. And I knew I wanted to play basketball as well because I really went to college to play basketball.
Right.
Wanted to play basketball. So that was really, really my main focus. And when Coach Torres, he asked me this one question. He was like, "You really think you're gonna get a basketball scholarship?" I said, "Hell yeah!" I really look.
Right.
I solely believed I was gonna get
Right.
a basketball scholarship,
Right.
but I knew what kind of city this was, how you can get out when I started paying attention. So I wanted to kind of focus more on football. But going into my sophomore year, that's when I had to make that switch for myself. Nobody didn't make that switch but me, and I think that was like one of the hardest decisions in my life at that point because I was so young and I had to make that decision for myself. And once I made that decision, I felt good about it when I talked to Coach Bryson, and he respected my mind. So once I made that transition, man, it was different at first from playing quarterback. Then I had to go to DB, but at the same time, I thought playing DB is like playing quarterback, but you on a defensive side. So I took that role. I worked hard at my craft, just trying to learn the defense that T had at the time, and I was just a young sophomore, so I was playing my role at the same time, but I also was trying to compete. So I ended up playing maybe like the fourth game of the season, and it started rolling from there. So during that season, I played a significant role on that defensive side,
Yep.
and I played a lot during the playoff run. Made a lot of big plays during that season. Didn't really play in the championship game that much, but going into my junior year is when my role was bigger. Playing on that defense, we had a lot of studs on that defense.
Yes, indeed.
That 2017 season, there's a lot. You can name a lot of people, and that was a special team that year. And just being a part of that team and just having the season that we had, man, it was great. And just being a part of that and contributing the way I did, man, it was even special. And then my senior year, that's when I became 7, and being the leader of the team, role got bigger. Offers came. Then I was already committed to Memphis at the time anyway, so I wasn't really too worried about all the schools at that point. I was ready to commit. I was committed to Memphis. When I went to the official visit, it felt like home.
Yep.
Coach
Yep.
Dave, they all welcomed me in. Had a great relationship with Dave and everything. So when that happened, I was locked in. So once I went to Memphis, it was a whole different environment, like almost a culture shock. Just knowing and seeing, the different sizes of the players. I'm a freshman, so I'm going in.
Right.
I'm just a freshman.
Right.
But
The
and
adjustment.
like any other freshman, you want to go in with the mindset, oh, I want to play buck, I want to play, do this, do that. But when you actually get into it, you're like, oh, they either better than you or they the same. Just they can play, yeah. So I had to realize that, and I had to step back. I had to step back and I had to know my role my freshman year. and I played scout team. So, and I took scout team to heart. Like a lot of kids don't like. A lot of people don't understand how much scout team could do for the rest of your career.
That's part of your
It
process.
is part of the process. So, me, my brother, we had a couple other guys on the team. We took that scout team role serious. Our goal every day was to make Norvell mad. Every day.
Mike Norvell, who was at Florida State.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
our goal was to make him mad, and that made it fun. Like that made the process even fun. We got a couple guys, a group of guys that just gonna go out there have fun. I mean, we know our role. We know our role, so we're gonna go out there and play our role to the best of our ability. And at that time, you had Tony Pollard, you had Patrick Taylor,
Tony
Darrell
Pollard.
Henderson. You
Was.
still had Brady White there. So I'm going against NFL caliber guys on the
Elite.
scout team, giving looks, and I'm also trying to perfect my craft at the same time. So just going through that process, man, it like when I look back at it, man, it's different. Like a lot of athletes don't get it. Like
Yep.
they don't understand the process of what scout team could do for you, and that kind of set me up for next year. And even though we had a new DC the next year, it still set me up for another opportunity to showcase my talent, what I could do. And I did that. I gained weight, showed what I can do in the springtime, and from there, even though I was kind of splitting time with a safety, a couple safety. We had I think like a 3-man rotation,
Mhm.
but during the season, it started getting as we get into the season, it's a long season, so you get guys banged up,
Yep.
guys hurt, or
Roles
whatnot.
change.
Yeah, roles change. So even though I was playing, like I might not have started, but I was finishing. I was finishing the game, so that was kind of big for me. Like just knowing that what role I had my redshirt freshman year, because really I was really a special team guru. My first I played kickoff return, punt return. I was on field goal block. I got to block my redshirt freshman year. Got an interception. I was making plays
Against
like
Ole Miss, huh?
yeah, my first interception was against Ole Miss. So I'm making plays, contributing.
that.
So it felt good to me, like the hard work, just knowing my process and just keep my head down and just keep working, because everybody got their own race, and I was just running my race, and I was just gonna compete to I'm gonna put my ass off.
Right.
I wasn't gonna back down. I know where I came from. I know what high school I came from. So I was dealing with adversity, so I wasn't gonna let that affect my game. So
But how were you able to put your pride to the side? Because a lot of kids go into college and they feel entitled. They feel like I should be the starting receiver, starting DB, whatever position they playing. But you took scout team serious. You put your pride to the side. Like, I'm not worrying about being a starter. I'm
Right.
gonna make the most of the situation. Where'd that come from?
it's just patience, man. It's just the humbleness, the just come from college. Like you gonna go through adversity in life, man. You gonna go through a lot of adversity. So it's just how you face it. It's that character. Adversity builds character. So just going through that process, just being patient with it, and just trusting God in the process,
Yep.
knowing that my time is gonna come, and when that opportunity comes, I'm gonna seek that opportunity. I'm not gonna look back, and that's exactly what I did. And I took advantage of every opportunity I had, from the springtime to fall camp to the game to the season.
Yeah.
And I never looked back. And that's how I kept it the whole time. My whole time at Memphis. I don't care if I was the number one safety. Somebody's still trying to come get my spot.
Yep.
I don't care.
Yep.
Like I'm still competing. Like they be like, oh, twin, you number. No, I'm still competing for a spot. Like
Every
y'all-
day.
I'm still competing. Like I got to treat it like it's a job. Everybody trying to play. It's a business at the end of the day.
Right.
Everybody trying to play. So my dad told me you got to force the hand. Force the hand. If you force the hand, they got to play you.
Make yourself undeniable.
Exactly.
Let me ask you this. Everybody have it, especially at the college level. What was Quindell like? Oh shit moment. Like this different from playing that car. Playing against your St. Paul's, your Warren Easton's, where you got athletes, coming across, but ain't no 6'6", 6'7". Like, oh shit, I'm the one that got to stop, especially being the safety, last line of defense. What was that? When that moment came? Could have came in practice. Could have came.
It definitely came in practice, because Patrick Taylor if y'all don't know, Patrick Taylor is a pretty big guy for a running back.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of had to thud him up for a second, and
Right.
and he drove me back about 5, 6 yards.
That's before you got your weight up.
Yeah,
Before you got your weight
that's
up.
before I got my weight up. So at that moment, I'm like, damn, welcome to college.
Right.
You feel? That was
Right.
that welcome to college, hit right there. So, I definitely that, I will say, because PT was a big guy, hell of a guy, hell of a player. That's my guy to this day. So, that was really one of my.
Now, how did that propel you? Because like what I tell the kids that I coach, and any
Make you or
kid,
break you.
and any kid that like I might mentor, or like do like some individual work with, like accept that first shit moment and make it part of your process. Because like G just said, it can make you or break you.
Yeah.
You be like especially from a DB, I feel like that shit moment needs to happen as soon as possible, because that's like the biggest jump of talent coming from high school to college. Because in high school, it might take a 9 route 6 seconds to get to 15 yards.
Yeah.
In college, point in 2.3,
like that.
it's
Yeah.
like
Different.
It's different. It goes
For sure.
from 10 to a 30-yard bomb. You like, God, like what's going on?
And I had to slow myself down a little bit, because once I started getting the reps, it was fast at first. It was fast. I'm not gonna lie, it was fast. Even though we practice, practice is always gonna be fast. So
Yep.
you gotta get lined up. You gotta make calls. You gotta do this, do that. So, just doing that, man, it helped me slow down. Like, it helped me slow my game down. It made me just get my playbook even more. So, once we all going fast, I can't make that call. I can't make that adjustment on the fly. So, just going through that process, I just feel like, just looking back on it, man, it's a journey, because I knew I could play the safety position, but I knew I had more to learn. I knew I could do more. Once you get to college, you think you know stuff, but once you get on that field, then everything comes into play. IQ, formation recognition, route recognition, all that come into play. Like, ain't no drills. You ain't doing no
Right.
You ain't doing no ladder on the field.
Right.
You ain't doing no individuals on the like. Once you 11 on 11, then that's when all that come to play. So that's kind of like something I realized as I went through my college career. Just realizing, just when my game started slowing down, when I started seeing everything, it just started slowing down for me. The more I seen stuff, the more it slowed down, and I can make that call.
Reps.
I can get him. I can be like, this coming. Watch the flat. Watch match, do all that before even start. So that's really
Route recognition.
You went through a lot of ups and downs at Memphis. Early on in your career, you guys went 12-2. You won the conference. Things was hitting on all cylinders. Then Mike Norvell leaves to go to Florida State, and then you get a new head coach in, and still some success, but not the same.
right.
How were you able to go through that adversity, man, in that program, and be able to, rally them guys behind you, and still be able to see some success, in the tail end of your career, like your last game or your senior year this year, winning that bowl game?
So going into that COVID year, we still had guys that came back for their 6 years. So we still had seniors on the team that came back for another year. So we still had veteran guys, but I was one of those upcoming leaders,
Yep.
To be next in line. So I did, have a say so, but I did, watch what they do. I'm still watching, still observing, but I still, say what I need to say. But I mean, through that time, man, we just had to come together. I mean, it wouldn't. I just felt like it was the players. It was just the players. Like, it wasn't gonna be the coaches.
So when he announced that he was leaving, how did you take that, and how did you handle it?
I mean, it was a shock to me, because like,
Because a lot of kids go through that.
right, and what was crazy is like, damn, we
Did you take it
we
personally?
just
You took it personal?
I didn't take it. I didn't take it personal. I'm like, we just won a championship.
Right.
We finna go to combo. You feel me? Like, we gonna need you as a head coach. But at the end of the day, you gotta realize what you got yourself into, what you signed up for. This is a business at the end of the day. So he made a business decision for himself, for his family. So you gotta understand that. But you can be selfish and be like, nah, he ain't. he don't mess with us for real. You know, he this, he that. But at the end of the day, it's a business decision. So I didn't take it personal. I was happy for him, but I wish he would have stayed.
Right, of course.
Yeah, of
Of
course, you
course.
wish he would have stayed for the game. But at the end of the day, it's a business decision.
Well, let me. I'm gonna take G question and go a little bit further. You come from Cart where the stability was the same from your freshman year to your senior. Well, yeah, I don't think.
Bryce was the head coach your freshman year?
Nah,
No,
sophomore year.
Sophomore, senior.
You know what I'm saying?
Year.
But you like the staff for the most. I'm trying to think because
Staff and the program was still the same.
Yeah.
For sure.
because Noel didn't leave yet. Noel was still
Coach Noel?
Yeah,
he was still up.
He
Yeah, he was
was
still
still
up.
there. So you went from everything outside, from your sophomore year on, the same to pretty much the guy that recruited you. Not just the head coach, but Dave left
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
And
Yeah,
Dave
yeah.
was that
Yeah.
like Dave is that like especially with you being from New Orleans, somebody that can always. Hey man, look, come to the house. Get a home cooked meal, man.
Yeah.
Hey, this happened in the
The
city.
extension of your dad.
Yeah.
You know what
for
I'm saying?
sure,
yeah.
This, you good. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, talk to your mom, talk to your dad. This was going on. You don't need to go home this week.
Right.
You lost that person.
Right.
I think,
Right.
to me, I think that was bigger than losing Coach Novell. What was that like?
Was
for
that
you?
after your second
That was
year?
right. Nah, that was right before I signed. Before I went up there.
Damn,
he
hold on. So
took
you
a-
didn't
I
spend
thought-
a year
I
with
thought you-
D?
So you
Nah,
didn't have
I
Yak
didn't-
at all?
I didn't have
all
Yak
right.
at
I
all.
thought you
No,
spent
that's
a
right.
year.
He went to Tennessee.
He went to
Yeah, I
Tennessee,
knew that,
right?
but
He
I
went
thought
to
you
Tennessee.
had spent at least a year
Nah,
with
I
him.
didn't even
Wow.
spend. I didn't even spend a year with Dave. Man. That's
Wow.
like I was like, damn. I ain't even. We already had the relationship, so
Yeah,
I was
of
ready.
course.
I was ready to go up there. Spend time with him. Just be up there. Have somebody from New Orleans, from the area.
Right.
To be up there with us. So it was like, damn. It
But
was crazy.
Sherman had came later.
Sherman came
Sherman
Covia, but then again, even though he left, I wasn't alone. I still had my brother. Me and my brother went
Yeah.
together, so I wasn't alone at the time. But it was like
Yeah.
I wish he was there, but I wasn't alone at the same time. So I really wish I got a chance, to have a spend a year with him. But it was I was a little disappointed. But I mean, at the end of the day, you gotta realize what you sign up for. So
Right.
yeah.
He looked good in Mike Norvell eyes by getting you up there though, because it all worked out.
Yeah,
it all worked
it
out.
all worked out at the end of the day, man.
Yeah, what I want to talk about though, you and your twin brother, man. Kenny, man. Watching y'all all through high school, how close knit y'all are. Hoop together, play football together. You go to Memphis together. He was a walk on, even though I know he had an academic scholarship because
Right.
he's smart as hell.
Right.
Talk about that process, going through that process with him, as he was a walk on and him trying to prove himself, and he actually made some plays,
Yeah.
special teams and things like that. Man, talk about that process.
Man, it was a journey just to watch that process, man, because I knew, I was the one with the scholarship, but he was the walk on. So, it was days where I seen him like working. Like I see him working extra job, just, he's a walk on, so he trying to make it, he trying to make it through. It was tough, but I'm Nessa. I'm always gonna help him out for sure. I wasn't gonna let him, I wasn't gonna leave him dry, but he worked his ass off for sure.
Did.
He worked his ass off. Like he getting connections, just finding, talking to people, doing what he can do, just to help himself at the end of the day. Because it wasn't about just football. It was, after life after football. So, he worked his tail off. Graduated in 3 years. I watched him work every day. Like it was crazy. Like I was figuring. Sometimes I complain, but I ain't have no reason to complain
Right.
because I'm not I'm
Right.
not in his position. So
Right.
it was like it was an eye opener because you never know what people go through, and like it was just a journey, just watching him
That
prevail.
probably fueled you even more.
Yeah,
It-
that was what I was
absolutely.
about to say.
It made you
Absolutely.
appreciate.
Absolutely, it made me appreciate what I have even more. Even though I was on scholarship, it just made me appreciate everything. And then like just him being on the sideline as well. Like he's always the first person I go celebrate with. So that was a thing itself. So And then once he left, it was kind of hard for me a little bit just not having him on the sideline. We've been together all our years, so just him not being on the sideline was kind of hard for me. The first, I say, 3-4 games, and then
Because it was something that you was used to.
yeah. So
Yeah.
she'll see it. My mama see it. She'll tell me what's going on. She knows, so she'll keep it straight with me. She like, you're not yourself. She like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing. She knows what's wrong.
Yeah.
She was like, nah, because your brother not
Intuition.
out there. So then everything settled. Once I had talked to her, so I was good though.
Talk about that. Talk about having the support of family, whether it was from siblings or your parents, that was right there with you. Especially like, cause let's just keep it a band. A lot of people from the city don't get that.
Yeah.
Especially when you go away. The one thing I always hear on signing day, even when me and G will always talk after signing day, and like you'll always hear somebody say, "Man, that's too far away." Like but to have that go with you, what was that like to have that to whether it's up, down, have that one constant thing that was gonna send you, bring Quindell back down to earth.
It was a blessing, man, because I'm big on family.
Yep.
I'm big on family, so just just having them in my corner was big. It don't matter, good game, bad game, getting criticized or being praised. It was a blessing, and I just thank them. From the bottom of my heart, just having that support, just keep me balanced. I just thank them a lot just for being there, mom, dad, brother, sister, just family all around, man. Just having them on my side, man, was big, and is a blessing just to have them for real.
I want to talk about how you've always been a excellent, superb student in the classroom since going back to your high school days, and you carried it over to college. Where did that come from? I know your mom and your dad is real. It's super tough on you when it comes to the academics.
Yeah.
But balancing school and trying to be a starter, for Memphis and be an all-conference player, that ain't easy. That's not easy. How were you able to balance that?
There's no books, no ball. I'm gonna start with that. They always told me no books, no ball. But but for real though, so man, it was.
I like that.
It was
I
hard.
like that.
I ain't gonna lie. It was hard my freshman year because I wanted to be an engineer my freshman year. I know I had this vision. I was gonna be an engineer. So I tried the route. So I wanted to be an environmental engineer, but they had civil engineering. So I was like, okay, cool. We gonna try this out. Oh, that hit me so hard. I tell you. And I'm a freshman at this time. I'm a freshman, so I'm not playing. I'm just going. I'm going to school and really practicing.
Right.
But at the same time, that was hard too because I had a lot of nights where I'm staying up 2:00 in the morning, and I gotta go to work. I was at 6:00. That was hard for me. That was like It was a culture shock for me because I ain't high school. I'll be in bed about 10:30, 11:00.
Right.
But now I'm in college. I try to change myself. And I'm going to bed at 2:30, waking up at 5:00. So that was a real big culture shock. So I really had to balance that, man. It was a real big balance for me, and just not me. Even though I wasn't even traveling, man, it was time management for real. Just trying
time management.
That time management that I had, man.
Lord,
I took so much. I took advantage of all my time that I had, man, just to get my books right, and that helped me a lot. So once you get that time management down, it's gonna set itself up. Like we all go to study hall, but once you practice that time management for yourself, and
you got to be disciplined.
It takes a lot of discipline. It's gonna come second nature to you. So just balancing football and school, man, it takes time management.
And you was on the dean list a couple times at Memphis too, right?
Yeah.
So, did you wind up switching your major?
I did. I ended up switching my major to business management right after the semester because it wasn't really correlating with our spring ball. So
gotcha. With the classes. Yep.
Yeah. So I just had to switch over. So I graduated undergrad business management. Now I'm once I get settled back in, I I finished my last 3 classes at sports commerce for my master's. So I'll be
There you go.
trying to finish that and get my master's.
So let's stay right there. We know that it's easy to pull up, the accolades and the stats from Quindell, the football player. Talk about Quindell, the man. Like, what's some of the interests that you have out? What's your plans for life after ball? What's some of the things that you kind of like want to get into or possibly start pursuing?
Yeah. So really, I ain't gonna lie, I really have a passion for coaching. Like I feel like that's one of
I
my
see
calling.
it. I see it.
That's one of my calling calls. Like calling call. How you say that?
Calling
I see
card.
it. I see it.
Yeah, yeah.
I see it.
So I just feel like coaching for me is like I feel like I can give back to others like the knowledge that I have for the game. Like I play so much, I could just give back to the kids, man. I just want to see everybody win at the end of the day. So I just want to. I think I want to coach for like I see myself coaching in the future, and I think I'd be a hell of a coach. And I just really want to like give back, give the knowledge that I have to other kids, and see them go pursue their dreams.
Gotcha. Uh, High school, switch from quarterback to DB, overcame that adversity. Showed people that you could switch positions and play at a higher level, and you did that. Okay, can he go do it at the next level? Went to Memphis, all-conference player, was on the dean list, did your thing, was that guy. Now you're getting ready to try to pursue that dream of playing in the NFL. Talk about that, man. That next step of trying to pursue that dream, the play on Sundays, man, and getting that process of getting ready to train and interview with teams and things of that nature.
It's been a process for sure. I really thank my parents for just helping me stay the course with this process, man. They, agents that hit me up, I'll be like, look, my parents are heavily involved. You want
Right.
to talk to me, you got to talk to them.
Right,
Before you talk to me, you have to talk to them.
right.
And that was kind of like my whole intro for the whole year. And they really helped me with that, just staying balanced and, just me focusing on football itself and just focusing on the season and just finishing out my senior year the right way. And, I talk to them. We'll talk to some of the agents or whatnot. We'll kind of have conversations or whatnot. But at the end of the day, if you don't talk to them, you ain't come to talk to me.
Right.
And that was I was big on that, and I snapped that. But as the season went on, I talked to a couple people. We talked to a couple agencies and everything. Kept in touch with most of them. They'll get on meetings if they like them. They'll give me the feedback. I'll talk to them, see what it's like.
Yep.
And we just went through that process. But man, that process there itself, it feel like high school
Yep.
recruiting
All over again. All
It's
over
like,
again.
but more aggressive.
Yeah. Work.
Nah, really. Like,
Because
it's a business.
It's a business.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
trying to. So it's more
Yeah.
aggressive. So
Yeah.
you gotta realize what what you putting yourself into. So I think mom's dad for just being there every step of the way, just just having my back and just let me focus. But just as this season ends and everything, just cutting it down and basically knowing who I may be with, man. It's been a journey. So it's all mixed emotions, nervous, happy,
Yeah.
excited, just to see what this process is really gonna be about. So I'm happy. I'm blessed to be in this position that I'm in, and I'm just ready for the journey to begin.
And just watching, I know your mom and your dad help you navigate through that situation, but a lot of kids and parents, watch our podcast and they're going to get informed about some of the things that you're saying. How did you and your parents go about figuring out what was the best agency for you guys for you to fulfill your dream?
Man, you just I feel like you just kind of know, when you're going through this process, all of them gonna say the same thing.
All the bells and whistles.
They all gonna say the same thing, but you kind of know who real and who fake.
Yep.
Just by how they present themselves. How they come about trying to getting to you or getting to you. through this process. But if I had to tell anybody, like, just listen to this podcast, man, just make sure like you have support system behind you. Just make sure you're not blind coming to this process, because that's what that's what they
take
look
advantage
for.
of.
They take advantage of you. Like people that's blind, that don't know anything about how this agency stuff go. They will get you. They will get you. So I would say like just be educated on this process. Try to educate yourself. Try to educate your parents on what this process is going to be about. And I think that'll be like one big step for
I
people.
know one thing about your mom and your daddy. They gonna damn sure be educated and informed on everything.
They don't play, especially dad.
I already know.
I think you hit a nail on the coffin that a lot of people coming out of college, getting ready for the next level, whether it's NFL, NBA, whatever sport they're going into, you understand the process of transitioning from a football player to a brand, and the power that you have is telling like having your parents transition like, hey, I'm not just a football player no more. Like this is a brand, so like we got to make brand like decisions.
Protect your brand for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like treating it like, hey, you the CEO. Boom, this is your board. So now, how do like talk about that part of it? Because like I don't think people understand like that part of getting ready for the NFL.
Yep.
Like they always gonna have like you always gonna, we watch the draft every time. You're gonna see the Mel Kiper and Todd McShay talk about this and this. They gonna sweat that every game, which they wasn't. They just rolling tapes and stuff. But then there's always that, but off the field, he had this and that, and that. He was involved in this. He got this and that. How do you protect the brand by being yourself at the same time?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Like just me, man. I just make sure I present myself the right way everywhere I go, on the field, off the field. Like it's just how you present yourself, and that's how I've been raised. Like just act the right way. Just act a certain way. Is a time and a place for everything. So I just felt like all my times at Memphis, my high character that I have set me apart from everybody else. Like just
No doubt.
how I talk, how I carry myself. Just how my role on the team, man. I set myself apart. So I think that's one of my biggest attributes. Just having that high character and present myself well through this process. It helped me a lot, and I think it's gonna help me in the future.
Well, let me ask you this then. Talk about the decision to come back your senior year, especially at the phenomenal junior year you had. Because look, if you just look at the stats, it's like you see redshirt freshman year, okay, you see sophomore year, then you see junior, like, go. Like numbers like that, it's like, all right, let's go. What is there to gain? Like G is one of the biggest components. Like especially if a freshman is having like a hell of a year, G will get on Twitter quick. There's no reason why There's no reason why Billy Bob should have to play 3 more years. Like that. That is his go-to.
Yeah.
In NCAA with basketball,
You only get 1 year.
You could just have a hell of a second half of the year. You gonna get a lottery pick. But NFL, you got to stay free. So like talk about like, hey, I could go. Because I could still finish school.
Right.
I could go and increase my chances of the brand, like we were just talking about, or come back, finish what I started, and let the chips fall where they may.
And not only that, he was getting a lot of calls from SEC schools. He really could have jumped ship. You know what I'm saying? We had a couple conversations, South Carolina, some other SEC schools coming in the picture. He really could have jumped ship, but he stayed true to Memphis. So just talk about all that, man. Coming back.
It was the loyalty, bro. The loyalty that I had for the city, man. The loyalty that I had for the school. And I wanted to finish what I started. Like my goal when I came back was to win another conference championship, because I knew how it felt.
Yep.
I knew how it felt to win a championship. I knew what it took to win a championship, and that was my whole goal of coming back, was to win another championship, and just to try to lead the guys as far as I can. Like that was my mission.
Especially with that new staff.
Right. And that was my mission. Like get the guys on board, tell them, how it is, what the Memphis standard is. Just let them know what it is and what it ain't, and just making sure like we know where we trying to go with this. So just going back, that was really my biggest goal when I went back, was to try to accomplish another conference championship, because I could have went back. I could have said, no, I'm just go back for myself. I could have been selfish as hell and went back for myself, and don't care about nobody. I could have
Right.
just been there. I could have been half leading.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
showing a fake smile every day, half leading there every day. But I took it upon myself because I know who I am. I stay true to myself. I know who I am. I know what kind of person I am. I'm not finna do that. If I'm a lead, I'm a lead. If I'm gonna be who I am, I'm gonna be who I am. And that's and that was my whole goal when I went back. So that's really about it. And just my loyalty that I had to the school, man. It was like I'm in a good position where I'm at. Like I'm for sure gonna play here. Like it was so much time. I mean, it took me a long time. Like it was a long process.
Yeah.
Cause I was in and out of, I'm gonna go back. Oh no, I'm gonna go to the league. Nah, I'm gonna go back. But now I think I could do this league stuff. So it was.
And then I had some schools hitting me up.
So
do I want to go show what I can do on a bigger conference?
So it was yeah.
a
So
lot going on.
So it was a lot going into that decision. So I just had to just take my time. I had to just slow down and just relax for a second.
How did you slow it down?
Good thing he had a good support system.
Yeah.
Good thing.
Just talking to everybody close to me, the closest people to me, just telling them how I was feeling. And then they probably give them what they feel, but just having that support system on my side while I was going through that process was big. Like, it was that support that I have, like, was big on my decision. And I think I made the right decision, going back. I mean, I could have still went, but I think I made the right decision of going back and, just putting up the numbers that I had this year. It wasn't the numbers I had last year, but I still put up good numbers,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So
doubt.
it was a successful year for sure.
I want to go back to high school when you were named 7. And I know a lot of people might watch and call football and they might see like, okay, 7 is the best player on defense, 2 is the best player on offense. The numbers. The number thing is a big thing at call. But I don't think people understand the significance behind being 7 at call. Talk about that process of being awarded number 7 at call and how you embraced it, man, and took on that role and ultimately led y'all to winning the state championship.
This is a crazy story. Even though I was 7 my whole park ball year, going into my senior year, I did not even want 7. I
What?
swear.
Hey, Carl.
I know Bryce had a problem with that.
So look.
Howard had a problem.
So look. This the thing. But this the thing though. I didn't change numbers so many times. I was.
You was 15 your freshman year.
No, I was 18. I was 18.
18.
Then when I moved to defense, I was 22. My junior year, I was 9. So it's like, I want to keep the 9. I did good in the 9. I'm going to rock out with the 9.
Yeah.
So when they told me they wanted, me to have 7, I was like, I really don't want it because I really want to keep my 9.
Right.
But 7, you'll be legendary. So I was like, okay. I'll take the role, but I wasn't gonna let that number make me I wasn't gonna let 7 change who I was.
There you go.
I was always gonna be who I was. I wasn't gonna let the number dictate who I was.
In your heart, you still was 9.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm like, once I had that number on my chest, I was still gonna be me. I wasn't gonna change for nobody. And I felt like once I took that role, man, we had, even though it was 5 of us, I wasn't really the vocal one, but when I did talk,
you led by example, though.
Right. When I did talk, everybody listened because we had people that wanted to talk. We had that
pretenders.
Authority. Yeah, we had that authority on the team. But when it was my time to talk, everybody was gonna listen, and that's that weight that 7 held at Carr. I think I still to this day don't know the power that 7 had. Bryce told me one day I could start practice all over again if I wanted to. I never knew that. If I wanted to, I could have
real
been
talk. That ain't no cap talk.
This ain't it. You feel me? I didn't know that until like after the season, but that's the kind of weight that 7 holds at call. But I don't think people know that for real. But just having that on my back and just keeping that 7. You gonna always once you're 7, you always 7 forever. So I'm just trying to continue to pave the way for the upcoming 7s that come through car and just set that right example.
I think with you, just watching you, man, coming up through car, and even when you got awarded 7, right? You made a key point that you didn't let 7 define you. You was gonna be who you are, and I think that's what I respected so much about you, Quinny. Like you embraced it. I'm 7, but I'm still Quinny. I'm still gonna be me,
Right.
and I'm gonna do it my way.
Right.
And you wasn't you growing up and you came up in the social media era, and you never was that guy that wanted to get on social media and make it all about you.
Yeah,
You was always that guy that was like, look, I'm gonna put my head down, I'm gonna work. And I think that's what made you one of the best 7s to ever come through car. And when y'all needed a play, your senior year when you was 7, against Eastern, any big game that came, you always came up in that clutch moment. And you never did it by talking. You always did it by your actions. Your actions always followed your words. Like, it was just so many different things that I watched from the time you got the call to the time you left that it doesn't surprise me of the success that you had at Memphis. Me and Dave were talking about you. He came on our podcast not too long ago, and we were talking about you. He was like, man, I saw something in Quindell. You see something in certain kids. He just had that it. You might not go in there and say, look, he's 6'4", running a 4.2. But when you put his film on, it jump out to you. He gonna be where he's supposed to be. He gonna be instinctive. He gonna be smart. He gonna be the quarterback of the defense. You had all the intangibles, and I think that's what made you a great 7. And I think that's what we could talk about football all day, but I think that's what made you a great person. I'm pretty sure your mom and your daddy got a lot to do with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
of course. We gotta give them their props.
Give them their flowers.
Yeah, gotta give them their flowers. But I think that's what made you a great person. And me and Bryce was talking. This is no cap. Me and Bryce was talking about you because I told him, I said, man, Quinn coming on the podcast. He was like, for real? He was like, that's gonna be a good one. And I said, why you say that? He was like, Quindell, one of them kids that did it his way. Bryce always got them little sayings. He did it his way. And he said he's a great person. That's why I said that earlier when we were talking before the podcast started, like just about being a great person. You could be the most talented person in the world. You could be going first round in the draft. You could be the best quarterback in the country, best DB in the country. It don't matter. But are you a great person? Right. And that's one of the things Bryce always said about you, man. Him and his brother, they great people. That's why they're gonna be successful in life. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why I always like watch you, from you when you left Carl. I talk to your mom. I see everything she posts. I watch games of Memphis and stuff like that. And I always it made me feel good to see when a good person is doing good and being successful in whatever it is they doing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I appreciate that, man, for sure. I mean, that means a lot, man, because I'm humble, so I don't, I
definitely humble.
I'm humble, so I don't really try to, give myself too much props. So, but I just, I always listen, and people always tell me like I got pulled aside in Dallas. One of the officers, he was telling me like, how great of a leader I was. The little things that people don't see, like just
behind the scenes,
just stuff like that, man. You appreciate stuff like that because at the end, I'm just being me. I'm just being me. So at the end of the day, like you appreciate stuff like that when people tell you that like it's just who I am.
And it's gonna carry you throughout life,
right?
Regardless of what you're doing. If you say tomorrow, man, I'm going to be a real estate agent. I'm going to start a lawn service. Like, ain't no doubt in my mind you're going to be successful at it. I know that. I'm confident in that. You know what I'm saying? Because of the kind of person you are.
For sure.
And like what the thing about being a good person that I think people who want people don't understand is you a magnet to other good people.
Yeah.
Because like if you treat people a certain type of way, certain type of people gonna be around you. You know, it's gonna be a ward off to pretty much all the
Right.
negativity because of the
Right.
people that you keep around you. But let's see, you graduated 17,
17.
18.
18.
So I want to go back to your last high school game. Warren Easton.
Nah, I was
No.
Lakeshore.
Lakeshore.
Lakeshore. Christian Welcox was the quote unquote white Speedy Noel. That's what they were saying up there.
Quarterback.
I didn't say.
Lakeshore.
I feel
Talking
like
about number 7, huh?
Yeah.
Number 7. Yeah.
I feel like old boy did on the 5 Heartbeats. I didn't say it, you know, you know what I'm saying? But that's all they was talking about. How like this was a team that was gonna beat Carr. It was the team.
I think they was undefeated going into that game. Huh?
It was undefeated. Yeah, it was
and
undefeated.
they was averaging 45,
Probably
46.
about 40,
you know what I'm saying?
45
Like
a
they
game.
were destroying people, and they stepped on the turf.
They ain't meet nobody like us, so.
You know what I'm saying? What was that like?
I mean, like just going into I think just going into that week if I could remember, like we knew, you know, they was undefeated. We knew they had people, they had guys on that team, but we knew who we had too. It wasn't just me. We had Devin, we had Chance, and we had a lot of people on the team. So we knew that we was gonna win this game. Like we wasn't gonna be denied. Like we weren't finna let Lakeshore beat us. Right? We not finna let them people beat us. They not finna let us. They're not finna come in here and take our state championship. Like, you know, when you a senior, Bryce always got that saying is how you want to be remembered. Like you a senior, is you gonna be a champion or you gonna be forgotten?
Yeah.
You gonna be a champion or you gonna be forgotten, and that's real. Like I knew, like when my senior year came, I knew I wasn't trying to be forgotten.
Right.
So I wasn't even finna let them come in there and take no championship for me, cause I knew they was my last go around. I'm a senior. I'm trying to go out with a bang. But you know, they had some good talent, but you know, we knew just coming out the gate that we wouldn't even finna let them just get off. I mean, even though they had that big kickoff return,
Yeah.
they kind of gave them a little momentum, but we shut that down quickly.
Well.
You know, but there was a good team, but I just felt like we was mentally prepared. Like we knew that we was gonna win. Like we wasn't gonna be denied. Like we were gonna do whatever it take to win, especially with them seniors.
So playing that car, playing under T. Howard in in a complex scheme that you know that is kind of college ready, prepared you for college ball. You played at Memphis, you know, Tony Pollard, what's Coxie? I can't think of Coxie.
Monte, Monte,
you know,
for sure.
You know, practicing against Mike Novell, who was still, you know, regardless of what happened his first couple of years at Florida State, who was pretty one of the better offensive minds in college football, got you some NFL looks. So, like, how prepared do you feel taking this next step in your career?
I really feel I'm very prepared, like, because I done went through 4 DCs in 5 years. I mean,
Damn.
yeah.
How hard is that?
It wasn't really hard. I mean, it was just you just
Come
gotta
on now,
adjust.
come on now, Quindell. Come on now. That ain't just easy to just be
The checks
different
change,
schemes and how they want you lined up,
Right.
the terminology. That ain't easy.
I
now,
mean,
Quindell. Come on now.
At the end of the day, I mean, it's only so many defenses you run. So, I mean, it's just the terminology that everybody have. Like, everybody got different terminology, so you just got to get used to the terminology everybody have. So, just when I had Fuller, like, when I actually started playing, so I had Fuller, I got, you know, implementing his defense, you know, just learning all the terminologies. And then next year we had Mike McIntyre, and I had him for 2 years. So he was probably the first DC I was under for 2 years. So I kind of
Flourished.
yeah. So I understood his defense, you know, more after the first year, just understanding the ins and outs of his defense. And then once Coach Barnes came in, I mean, shit. I mean, it wasn't nothing new to me after after the fourth one, I mean, shucks, I was like, okay,
You was like, here we go again.
all right, here
Yeah.
we go again. So I mean, it's just the adjustment, and you know, it's how fast you can pick up a defense,
Yeah.
and that's gonna determine how much you're gonna play. Like, I just felt like I adjusted very well with the DCs that I had throughout my years, and you know, I feel that kind of prepare. I feel like it's gonna prepare me because that's something you don't really, you know, you don't really think about, but at the same time, that's something that's really
Yeah.
can prepare you for the next level because you know things happen. You know, you switch teams or whatnot, so you gotta learn on the fly, and I think that's something that's overlooked that kind of is gonna really help me for the next level.
What I want to ask you about is recruiting these days has really changed.
Absolutely,
Even when you came on 2018, things have really changed, man. You see, in my opinion, you see a lot of kids. I feel like pick schools for the wrong reasons. Whether it's they don't have a good support system, wrong type of people advising them, whatever it may be.
Kodak Black and the
Yeah, like Jimmy Chase said. Jimmy Chase said Jamal Chase committed to Kansas because of Kodak Black.
because of Kodak Black, and they put the uniform on. With
Yeah.
the little
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I did not know
you
that.
You didn't know he committed to Kansas.
I
at
know
one
he
time?
committed to Kansas,
was-
but I
yeah.
never knew why he committed to
That was
I
why.
never
It
knew
was-
that.
it was-
Him,
Yo,
Corian,
Yup.
Yeah,
Puka.
yeah, all up there together. They put
Yo.
him in the room with Kodak Black. He said, he said the ball went crazy. They said, "Dad, I won't commit." We're like, "Hold on," and let they know he committed.
Right. But when you was coming out of high school, man, you had multiple offers, man. You could have went to Mississippi State. You could have went to some big schools.
I really didn't have no offer from Mississippi State. This is why, because they wanted me to go to the camp in order to get the offer, but I told my dad I wasn't going, so I really ain't get no Mississippi State offer.
I thought Mississippi State was on you all the time.
They was on me, but I wasn't really a camp guy. Like
Right,
I really,
right,
I really didn't like
Right,
camp for real.
right.
So, and then they want me to go to the camp to get the offer. I was like, nah, I ain't going.
Right. When you was going through your recruiting process versus how kids going through their recruiting process now, what made you handle it the way you did, and why do you think kids pick schools for the wrong reasons?
For one, I think kids pick school for the wrong reason because of the name that they have, and then again, these coaches promise them something, and then when they get there, it ain't what they expect. So I feel like kids don't go off like what they feel off their heart. Like they don't go off the heart; they just go off what they see and what they like, just at the moment.
Yeah,
they go
emotional.
off emotions at the moment, and I think for me personally, like I knew staying home was not a choice for me. Like I did not want to stay home. Absolutely did not want to stay home because I felt like it was more out there for me to see, explore, get to know more people, connections, all the other stuff. So when I went to Memphis and knowing that I had Coach Dave up there, it was like, it was like money in the bank for real.
Right.
It was like money in the bank. I went up there. It just felt like when I went to Memphis, it just felt like home. Like it just felt like I was comfortable there. Like you just when you know. So
Right,
it was like
right.
one of those instances. Like I just knew, but just the recruiting process, man. Like just me and my recruiting process. Like I knew, like I ain't like I said, I didn't want to stay home. So it was a process for me because I had these other schools coming at me. I only went to one real official visit, and that was to Memphis. You get these schools talking to you. They give you this false hope.
Right.
You get a lot of schools that give you false hope.
You get the printed up
Right.
letter with the fake signature and stuff.
Yeah, and then you also, I don't know if they still do this not, but you get offers off other schools. Like
Yeah.
I
definitely true.
I get a Memphis offer today, and then Tulane, Houston,
They gonna
UCF
offer
come at-
within
they
the
gonna offer-
conference.
Within the
right?
conference.
They gonna so that's like what some of them don't understand. Like you got all these offers, but do they have real intentions of picking you up?
Yep.
Like what are their intentions? And then you got NIL these days now, and that's different. You got the bag involved.
Speaking like because it came like the NIL came while you was already in. So did that affect you at any like?
Now it ain't affect me, but it did affect like upcoming recruits
Mm-hmm.
because now you young, 18, you're 17, 18. Now you trying to chase a bag.
Yeah.
They give you that money. You young. You ain't gonna turn no money
Right.
down now. So I just felt like that's what's hurting like players these days. You go and then they get the money and then they
You're
don't
not
play.
hungry no more.
They don't play. Now you want to transfer and then you got this repeating cycle. So I feel like NIL now is like I feel like it's messing up recruiting because now you got guys going to school just for money.
Yep.
Like I mean, even though everybody got aspiration of going to NFL, but are these intentions good for you? Like is this the place for you?
But you gotta think too, quick. You from the city. You know,
You know what
not
I'm saying?
everybody don't have two-parent houses.
Right,
So
right, and it's
sometimes-
something come out circumstances too.
You know
So
what I'm saying?
I feel and that plays a big part to it too. So I mean, everybody have their different reasons of why they will go there. So I do understand that, but I just feel like sometimes the young guys do go off emotion, especially with NIL these days. So I mean, everybody got their reasons of why they want. And at the end of the day, all I could do is respect your decision, what you want to do. But NIL, I think it's only gonna get worse. Maybe I don't know.
They got to put some guidelines on it.
They do.
They got to put some guidelines on it, or it's going to get worse.
I think it's headed to a spot where the college coaches didn't want it to go where it's about to just blow up
Yeah,
every day.
you got kids making more than coaches.
There you go.
It's reality.
There
You
you
got
go.
kids making more than coaches.
There you go.
You gotta be real.
There you go.
Okay,
Caleb
now,
Williams
yeah.
made $1 million this year.
Yeah, and you got position coaches not even making 500,000.
Then when you got kids, like say you have a good year, a really good year, other schools hit them up trying to get them to leave.
Mhm.
Now the school that you at, they like, man, look, we'll give you 800,000 just for you to stay. And now you start feeling like you bigger than the program.
Yeah,
Then you
you
got
can't be told nothing.
and it's crazy. You got guys in the transfer portal, and you got teams that'll call them. They'll be on the verge of probably staying. So I'll give you an example. They probably got kids that probably staying one more year, the upcoming senior. But you got a Power 5 school calling them.
Like you did.
I give you X amount. Come here. We got a spot open. We got a lot of people leaving. We need the spot filled. Blah blah blah. So now you gotta make a decision. Now you gotta make a decision for yourself. If you got kids, for your family. So like that all come in play. And I realized that like the last 2 years that
Right.
the NIL is serious.
Changing the game,
It's
dog.
changing for real.
It's really changing the game.
Let me ask you this real quick. Speaking on that, what advice you would give yourself, knowing now, like coming out of high school,
Mhm.
going to the college, knowing about the transfer portal, knowing about NILs, how would you give yourself advice heading to that next chapter with all that in front of you now?
And that process of going through, not playing at first and then grinding your way to where you want to get to.
Man, like when I look back, I was like, damn, I wish I would have invested my little money when I was younger. Like when I was a freshman getting my Pell Grant, I wish I would have invested a little bit. Like when Bitcoin hit, during COVID, I wish I would have put a little bit of Bitcoin.
You would have hit too.
I'd have been up right now.
You would have hit.
I'd have been up. But it's
I'm still beating myself behind that, man.
but
I did GameStop.
Yeah.
I was gonna get caught twice.
but it's things like that you look back on like, damn, I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have did that. Just the money you get, you can buy a little house or something. You can rent a house or something like just the money that you get, you can do things with that. And I wish I would have did that like when I was younger. Just to have that passive income or something like that. So that's really one thing I wish I would have done. Like when I was a freshman, but I'm young. I didn't really, know too much. Just seeing that type of money, I'm a saver, so I was gonna save it all.
Gotcha. Before we let you go, we gotta play Quindell's favorite. Here we go. Favorite sneaker?
I'm not a real big sneaker guy, but favorite sneaker. Is this a time limit?
Nah, we're not lying.
I'm a big I like 4s and 11s. That's the only
Jordan
shoe.
4s and 11s?
That's really the only ones I really
Gotcha.
like so far.
Favorite movie?
Friday After Next.
Oh, that's a good one. That's
Okay.
a good one. That's a good one.
Okay.
Favorite DB in the NFL?
I'm going with Derwin James.
He had a hell of a game on Monday night.
Mm-hmm. It's either Derwin James or Justin Simmons.
Favorite basketball player?
I don't really have a favorite basketball player.
For real?
I'm
You
dead
play-
serious.
Come on,
Well,
man.
no,
No,
man.
Cap,
No, ain't no
I
way,
I got a
man.
favorite football
All that-
player.
Ain't no way, man.
I got a favorite football player.
Who your favorite football player?
Mike Vick. That's my guy.
You got to have a favorite basketball player.
But you played the sport.
And you had a jumper.
I didn't really.
Come
ain't-
on.
I got a favorite
Come
team.
on,
I ain't really have no.
I just refuse to believe that. Your dad had an AAU team. Y'all was
for
running
real
through
now.
things. Come on now. It was somebody you were looking at.
I kid you no lie. I was not. I ain't gonna lie. I was just looking at the NBA.
Favorite NBA team.
I'm a Clippers fan. Don't judge me though. I'm a Clippers
I ain't
fan.
so-
So you ain't like Baron Davis. You ain't
I
like.
used to like.
I'm trying. To think
I
of
used to
Clippers
look up
when
to
you was
them.
growing.
I had me a Jason Kidd jersey, but they weren't really my favorites. I just had the jerseys.
So you didn't have a favorite NBA player?
I didn't.
That sound like.
I'm rare. I know. It's a rare answer.
Yeah.
It's a rare answer.
Yeah.
I know. You don't get those every day.
If you wasn't playing football, what would you be doing?
I'd be in the band. I ain't gonna lie.
For real?
Yeah.
Symbols.
Tuba.
Maybe this. Yeah.
Tuba?
Nah.
Or symbols?
Symbols.
Symbols. You know how to twirl them?
Nah, but shit.
It's a tuba thing, man.
Yeah.
The bass. Won't. You already.
That's my move right there. For sure. After Friday After Next, Drumline is my favorite.
Favorite coach of all time, whether it was park ball, middle school, high school, college. Favorite coach of all time.
I know who it better be.
My daddy.
I'm about to say, because you got to go home.
Why?
'Cause
Why?
You ever seen him coach?
Yeah, I have.
You ever
He
seen him?
been on y'all ass.
You ever seen him coach? That's why I'm tough as nails. That's why I don't let stuff get to me, because I know who coached me when I was younger. Like, it's crazy because, man, a lot of guys be getting mad when coaches fuss at. I'm like, bruh, it's not what you got to listen to what he's saying, not how he said it. And I learned that
There you go.
from my dad coaching me, because he can fuss all he want, but I always try to listen to like what he's saying as he fussing, but not how he's
It's
saying.
coming from a place of love.
Yeah.
All right. Toughest receiver you ever went against? Regardless, high school, college, middle school, whatever.
Tank there. Tank from Houston.
Tank.
Tank there. One.
For this year?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He doing the thing this year. I can't.
Okay. You had one?
New Orleans seafood or Memphis barbecue?
Always New Orleans seafood.
All day.
Yeah.
Over the
Right.
barbecue in Memphis.
Absolutely.
Now they talk. They high on that.
They barbecue good.
People
but
from
you
Memphis
know,
might not like hearing this. Now.
man, look, you say what you want. Ain't nobody gonna beat no New Orleans seafood.
Hot Boys 666.
Hot boys.
Favorite rapper that get you hyped for a game. What's in the headphones?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
Hey,
Kenny Brothers in my head.
Man, what I'm talking about, man.
Shout out
Hellcat,
to KB.
man.
Shout out to KB.
man.
KB everything.
gotta get him on the
The play-
podcast. We gotta get him
KB
on the
everything
podcast.
before
Yes.
games. I kid you no lie.
That's
If you follow me on IG, my one of my songs is Night Show. That's playing. KB is always gonna run before the game.
Bro, like, so if you go back and look at like a lot of my videos on YouTube before the video start is Kenny Brother in the intro, and people be like, that's not from New Orleans. They be like, man, who that is in your intro? Kenny Brother, man, look him up.
I'm telling you. I mean, everybody gonna listen to the young boys and the little babies and
I can't stand
Money Bag.
it. Can't stand it.
But me, like, I really like KB is gonna get me going.
KB.
KB gonna get me going
Yeah.
every game. Like he got his KB playlist shuffle. We going. We listening. We here. We in the zone.
Favorite KB song? I'm gonna tell you mine.
Elevation right now.
Through My Eyes.
Think so?
Through My Eyes.
Elevation is underrated.
No, it's not. It's nice. Bro, Through My Eyes, touch my soul. Yeah. Go listen to it on y'all way home.
All right.
Through My Eyes, I'm telling you.
I will play dog when I like. You know, you got all your favorite songs like him,
Yeah.
and you know he's got the We Stay Lit album. You know,
Mhm.
it's the outro always gonna get you.
Always.
It's the outro always gonna get you lit. But when you actually like, just see, he don't know what we talking about. He's
I'm just-
Yeah,
I'm-
no.
I'm-
I'm gonna put you on. I'll put you on.
Look,
But like-
On your way back. On your way back to St. Helena,
Yeah.
put on some
I
Kenneth
don't-
brother.
You know I live in Hammond. I don't.
What Hammond? Tomato.
That's a lot. That's a big difference.
but when you listen to him, dog, like he poetic. Like you
Yep.
just gotta listen to what he's saying.
Yep.
And
Yep.
like when you listen
Substance.
to some of his songs, bro, like it's like yeah.
Hey,
I've been messing with him since high school. So from SoundCloud, the Apple Music.
Yes.
So that's your favorite rapper of all time.
It's not all time, but
That's who we own
That's
up,
who I listen to before.
Favorite all time.
I'm gonna go Weezy all day.
Weezy, they gotta pay homage. Gotta pay homage.
Can't be mad. Can't be mad.
My dog Quindell, man, appreciate you coming on
I
the Fanview
appreciate
podcast,
I
dog.
appreciate y'all from having me, man. I appreciate it, man.
Always a pleasure having one of our own, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
man, kudos to you, man, and your career. It's just so crazy how time passing, seeing you come through in before high school, watching you in AAU, then the high school, go to Memphis All-Conference, make the dean list. Now you're getting ready to go take this journey to the NFL, man. Seeing your mom and your dad how they support you, Kenny. Man, this the kind of stories I like for my son. My son 12 years old. He's gonna be 13 on the 6th. My daughter 10. She's gonna be 11 February 1st. This the kind of stories I like for them to hear and see, man, because this is inspiring, man. You know what I mean? And especially with the times we living in, the society we growing up in, and man, ain't nothing but success coming your way.
I appreciate that, man.
So kudos to you, man. I look forward to seeing you play on Sundays, bro.
I can't wait.
Man,
I can't wait.
Hopefully you're close. So
Oh,
I can-
hey,
so I
hey,
can-
hey,
so I
hey,
can
black
be
and gold,
there.
baby.
Hey, cause look, man, I got two former players, man, that's in the league right now, and I ain't going to the cold. I got too much metal in my body. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. But nothing but great successes headed for you.
For real.
Through ball and life after ball.
Oh, yeah.
I just say, man, keep your head down, keep God first.
Absolutely.
Keep that circle small, and there's nothing that's gonna stop you, man. Because being a kid from here, from right around the corner, your mom's not too far from.
We just found out.
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
I ain't know she was from the Lafitte.
we might be related somewhere down.
We-
down the road, you know what I'm saying? But like we didn't have this coming up. We didn't have our own trying to help us stay out. And look, there's nothing wrong, but it's okay to
Right.
get away.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
make
Absolutely.
yourself. And it's good for the knuckleheads around here. That's just from Holiday Drive all the way to Bad Charity. Like, hey, if they can make it,
There you go.
I can too. Because we come up with the city is still a city. We come up in the same way, So it's just now seeing that they got a positive role model to get up out of here. That's what I love to hear when we bring guys back to share their story and to share to share the good, the bad, and the ugly,
There you
because
go.
it's not always gonna be peaches and cream.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's gonna be sugar and salt.
Nobody is posting their failures.
No, because people are afraid to fail.
There you go.
But sometimes the failure makes you who you are.
We going at 2023 with a bang with my dude Quindell, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all,
Memphis
man.
safety, man. Quindell Johnson, All-Conference, Dean List, whatever accolades
Kenny
you want to throw out
Brothers
there,
lover.
man. Kenny Brother Lover.
Shit.
We signing out, man. Fanview.
All right.
You did.